I don't have a mold. I want to feel them. I want to kind of get in their mind and understand what makes them tick and what brings them to me.
I want to bring in a special guest who is joining us this hour in Detroit, Michigan. The attorney who's representing the families of the four young
wife Kathleen and their son Luke are now providing round-the-clock care because of what they say was a tainted COVID drug.
Lawyer Ven Johnson joined me now. Craig, that must have been the most difficult day.
Today is about those Anderson survivors and the power of coming forward.
The fact of the matter is they now feel like they've been heard.
It really wasn't about the sentencing per se. It really was about just bringing this to light and getting the accountability.
In order to do what we do, you have to be so committed to helping people. You have to be so willing to spend time and energy. I don't get paid unless I get my client help. Every single case is one of our babies. It's our family. It's everything. But it's because of the love of the people. When I first started my own practice, one of the things that I knew was I wanted to put together what I call a mega law firm. I started begging Tom Wan to come with me from day one.
Right from the top?
He's a rock star.
And I had my own firm for 20 years. From the day he left Figer's office, he was after me to join him.
Tommy had his own practice and decided, no, I'm just going to keep doing my stuff. But I didn't give up.
I thought that was a little aggressive back then, but that was always his vision, was to be in Flint, was to be in Detroit and somewhere on the west side of the state.
And the more that we spoke, the more that Tom saw that there was a path to us doing this together.
Kept talking to me about it, and finally I decided to join him. But where we are today, I think, has always been kind of the plan.
I didn't know Paul. Paul was really good friends with Jeff Danzig. Jeffrey Danzig is not bullshit. It's just like straight to the point.
Jeffrey Danzig, I am the intake director.
Okay, because started by, hi, I'm Jeffrey Danzig.
Yeah. In other words, Jeff says, listen, dumbass, interview him, he's good. So I did, and I was blown away by this guy.
There we go, smart ball.
Ven obviously had a great reputation in the legal community. 1, he's a very ethical guy. 2, he's a tenacious guy. 3, he's a great trial lawyer. For those of us who want to kind of share in and embody those characteristics, great place to practice.
Paul had worked in the Buell building, and the office that he currently sits in was his office 25 years ago. So it was like a complete circle.
It's the cases where you get the deck stacked against you, governmental immunity, where we don't back down. Every day we're taking on these causes that most lawyers would say, you are insane. You are insane.
Government entities, insurance companies, corporations, whoever you have a case against, they know. They know. They keep track of what we do. They keep track of the trials that we have. They keep track of our results. We're a little different that way.
This encounter between Atlanta police officer John Grubbs and Jerry Blasingame, who was 65 years old at the time, all started with this.
This case is going to change our entire country, how it relates to police misconduct. If cities and governments can get away with what they did here, wrongfully and unconstitutionally injure somebody.
The Blasingame trial for me was being second chair to Ven, who was lead. I was there in Atlanta with Ven for 2 weeks.
Usually, if our clients are not present, it's because they're deceased. In this case, Jerry Blasingame was still alive. He'd been injured so bad by the Atlanta Police Department that he couldn't be present at trial. He needed 24-hour care.
Sir! This body camera footage shows Blasingame unconscious and motionless. Grubbs' post record shows he's been on the force.
The police pursued him and tased him, and as he was running down a hill, and
he fractured his neck.
He was a homeless man who was minding his own business, and he became basically a quadriplegic, a quadriplegic, which is the same thing, except maybe he can move his fingers a little bit.
These people kept him alive, and the city of Atlanta has walked away from this man and his family since the day of. The city of Atlanta won't even pay his medical bills, even though he was in custody.
That was a really tough trial because, first of all, number one, we're in the South. Atlanta is a little bit of an oasis, but it's still, the police that we're going up against on behalf of a person who has no advocates in society.
I'm eternally grateful for Steve Natt. He has become beyond important to me. He's my brother. He is part of our trial team. And I can't even imagine life or doing this without Steve.
I don't think Ven's tried a case without Steve since he's been here. All of my cases I've tried with Steve since I've been here. He's smart, compassionate, and he understands people.
Practicing trial law is as much a healing profession as being a psychologist. You're both dealing with people who are suffering and have suffered and are seeking some form of healing.
When you do this type of law, we take such risk, and it's so difficult to win.
We were able to sync up the videos from the taser, the dash cam, and the body-worn cameras of the officers that proved that Officer Grubbs turned off his body-worn camera to try and erase video footage. But I think that angered the jurors.
What this jury got was the flavor of the disrespect that man had for homeless people and people in general. And what this jury got, even more importantly to me, the jury blamed Atlanta.
But it sends a strong message from the citizens that live in the Northern District of Georgia that they're sick of this and they won't change.
When the jury came back and read off their verdict, that's a moment.
I got the chills.
The jury found both the city of Atlanta and Officer Grubbs guilty of violating Blazing Game civil rights, awarding $60 million from APD and $40 million from Officer Grubbs.
Those are numbers you just don't hear. I don't know if I'll ever hear them again. I'd like to.
Today, we're here 3 years later, after a $100 million jury verdict, unanimous.
The district court judge started by taking $60 million away that were found against the city of Atlanta, and then another $19 million away against the individual police officer. And so today was our chance to be able to argue to the 11th Circuit Court of Appeals, one step below the United States Supreme Court, that was an error.
Damn it, when you do something wrong, step up and admit it. And then when you have a trial and you've been spanked by a federal jury,
fair trial, fair game, even playing
then
field for
step
everyone, and the jury
up and
comes
do
back
the
and
right
says,
thing.
He does it because he knows that body cam was the witness, the only witness to what I just did. And the city of Atlanta doesn't mind if I get rid of that witness that is so important to ensuring that law enforcement is done effectively and constitutional. I appreciate your time today, Your Honors.
What I need is people who, by instinct, want to take care of other people, and that's rare.
You have to have a passion for what you're doing. You have to believe in the client. I'm not going to say it's easy, but it's easy to become committed to it.
When victim survivors come to me, oftentimes I'm the first person that they're telling about their trauma. So they come to me and to our firm feeling really hopeless, feeling really small, and feeling very vulnerable.
It's one of the biggest sex abuse settlements in history. The University of Michigan agreeing to pay $490 million to the survivors of the late Dr. Robin Anderson.
To be able to understand how that person is suffering is an important part of the process, because It helps you to understand the damage that's been done to them and to be able to communicate that effectively with other people.
I see my role as giving people a voice who don't otherwise have a voice, and I help effectuate their voice being heard.
Who we fight against are giants. They're corporate giants. They're the modern day Goliath.
You didn't get FDA approval to put glass particulates in this medication. You had the medication that was approved, never the glass particulates.
There's always a need to have someone by your side, right? I think everyone can attest to a time that they wish that someone else was fighting on their behalf. That's what we do. We're in there with them. We're in the ring with them.
You are helping someone who doesn't have a kind of a leg up in what they're dealing with. Who do they turn to? They turn to a law firm and they expect the best.
For all of the attorneys and the support staff, they take it really personally, and I think that's what makes us so effective, is that it is personal.
When you see real people with real injuries, that lives have been changed by a catastrophic event, that's what makes me go hard.
I work in civil rights specifically right now, and so having an opportunity to advance a lot of the causes that I've grown up believing in every day, that is more rewarding than I think I could have realized.
If you become invested in your client's case, you're going to treat it like your own. And if you do that, generally speaking, you're going to get a good result for people.
Starting a law firm here in downtown Detroit, it felt like coming back home to me. And we are absolutely so happy to be coming in to the new Hudson building and supporting downtown Detroit and all that is great about this city.
New Hudson it's kind of off the chain. It's really cool. I think it's going to be a great place for lawyers to practice. I think it's going to be a great place for clients to come to. It's really exciting.
I always joke that I'm a 7-minute walk from this building, but when we move, I'll be a 3-minute walk, which is even better.
Ven Johnson Law has really grown, but our core values have always stayed the same and are even stronger now. We just have more people fighting that fight with us.
We've enjoyed our 12 plus years at the Buell building right downtown the middle of Detroit, and we're so blessed to be able to come to the Hudson building and call it our new home in the near future. We've been Detroit, we are Detroit, and we thank you, Detroit, for all that you've done for Ven Johnson Law.